everybody, Barry here from the Brewed Palate. I'm here with Jan from Sierra Nevada. What exactly is your role for Sierra Nevada?
So I'm the New York City rep. I cover the metro area and up all the way to Hudson Valley.
All right, so we're here, before we get into more details on the recent growth of Sierra Nevada, we're here at Blind Tiger Ale House, one of my favorite craft beer bars, for the Beer Camp Across America event. So can you just tell us a little about what that's about, how these collaborations came about, and how you actually were able to secure all the kegs to bring to this great, iconic craft beer bar?
Right, so Beer Camp Across America is actually a celebration of not just our new brewery opening up in North Carolina, but of craft beer in general. When this first started out, our brewery was opening the facility in Mills River, North Carolina. We wanted to figure out a way how we can, celebrate this milestone. Ken Grossman was uncomfortable in putting all of the spotlight on himself. He didn't want to say, hey, everybody, look at me, we're national now. So we were thinking of ways how we can kind of be all-inclusive and include the craft beer community too, because the fact that we're opening up a second brewery on the East Coast and are now bi-coastal, I think is a big milestone for not just us, but craft brewing in general. I think, you're seeing it more and more that more breweries are expanding. Breweries are getting outside of their local region and making a mark nationally. And I think our brewery opening up is one of the small milestones in the community that represents this new plateau of ours.
All right, so you took that initiative, and then you just asked a bunch of breweries to collaborate. How did it come about that how did you choose which breweries to collaborate with for these beers?
So
you have like 8 of them here, so
12.
12.
So that was all Ken and Brian Grossman. They're the ones with the real relationships with the brewers and owners of these collaborative brewers. From what I understand, their hardest part of this project was to dial it down to just 12 breweries. Obviously, there's hundreds and thousands of other breweries that we would like to work with, but we couldn't all fit that in the 12-pack. So these 12 breweries had personal relationships with Ken and Brian. Throughout the years, throughout the craft brewing landscape history, they've been, calling each other for advice, calling each other for brewing techniques, and talking to each other how, they can make better beer. So it was just natural that he called up 12 of his friends that he talks to on a regular basis to be part of this project.
Yeah, so how is the building of the North Carolina brewery going? I'm sure, you've been posting a little bit online, but, from what you've heard as a rep, how is the progress of the brewery going?
Pretty good. We're actually producing beer outside, from that facility right now. All the beer in the East Coast is eventually going to be coming out of that brewery. Right now, we're starting in baby steps. We're producing beer for North Carolina and the surrounding markets, and we're just going to grow as the facility comes into place and we get, everything in order. But yeah, it's going slowly but surely. It was a big project, but I think the timeline that the brewery set, it went over a little bit, but we're still on due time. Pretty good.
All right, so as you know, Sierra Nevada is seen as one of the pioneers of the American craft beer revolution. So out of all these new things that you guys have been working on, the Beer Camp Across America, the building a new brewery, all that stuff really fit into really, taking what you've established over the years and really keeping it growing and spreading, amongst the American craft beer industry community. Stuff like that.
Yes, so I'm proud to be part of it, working for a company that's been there from the beginning. American craft beer is obviously known for our hops, American hops. Cascade, in particular, started, we're one of the few hops in the beginning, in the early 80s, that started this whole revolution of hop varietals that we're coming into now. And the Pale Ale back in 1980 was one of the first, maybe even the first, if I go back and check my facts, but Sierra Nevada put Cascade hops on the map, and to this day has evolutionized to, what we're experiencing today.
Yeah, speaking of the hops, sometimes, people like to pigeonhole craft breweries. Like Sierra Nevada is known for a lot of their hoppier beers, but in terms of Sierra Nevada, you've kind of like you said, like revolutionized bringing up the use of American hops into American craft beer. So like, what are some of the stuff that you guys do, for the hops nowadays to continue, proliferating? Why it's so good, so beneficial to show what American hops have to bring to beer.
So, we invest a lot back into hop research, not only hop research, but, brewing technology and stuff like that. But hop research is something that the company is very close to. You guys are all familiar with the Torpedo Extra IPA. We use Citra hops in that. When that came out 4 or 5 years ago, that was one of the first, beers that cultivated that hop into what it is today. We were one of the first IPAs to use that hop, and kind of, from there it has its own kind of trademark name now.
You guys have really, revolutionized, some of the hop, the proliferation of, certain hops in the American community. But, bringing this back into New York, because that's where we are now, around America even, you see over the years Sierra Nevada Pale Ale is like synonymous. Like, of course, you go into a bar, and nowadays, and not only Sam Adams is that really common tap, but Sierra Nevada Pale Ale is, another standby for bars. So, I think that
we're tried and true. It's, that's something the bars can count on.
So how do you see, now that you guys are doing a lot of different things, how do you see the New York and your market you're responsible for, like, embracing Sierra Nevada as it, brings stuff like the beer camp stuff and all this, the new brewery and all that stuff into the market?
Yeah, definitely. The Sierra Nevada brewery is definitely synonymous with the Pale Ale, and projects like this where we expose people to different styles and different collaborations that we do, let people know that we're still doing cutting edge things. We're still doing other beers. We're still playing around. We're still enjoying and relishing in the creativity of what is craft beer, and that's, I think, a good point to point out, since people do recognize us as
so,
Pale Ale.
To take a step back, before we wrap things up about Sierra Nevada, like, how did you come to work for Sierra Nevada? What is some of your craft beer story? How did you get into craft beer personally?
Let me see. I gotta think way back. I started with a small import company, importing sakes and Asian beers. So my first touch of the beer industry was through the Asian niche, through my work with Asian beers and Asian lagers. I developed an affinity for beer and started digging into the nuances and home brewing and, digging into the ingredients. Fell into this world of craft beer, meeting, other reps from other breweries as I was working in my Asian niche, and everybody's so much fun to hang out with. Everybody's got something to bring to the table, and so I decided I wanted to be a brewer. That I was going to studying for that, going to school for that. And then one thing led to another. The sales background of mine pulled me back in. This Sierra opportunity popped up, and I didn't want to pass up this opportunity to be with one of the greatest pioneers of American craft.
So I just want to thank you for taking some time, and I definitely look forward to seeing what Sierra Nevada has to bring, because, as we've talked about, the past 10 minutes, that Sierra Nevada is continuing to improvise. Like we said, Sierra Nevada sometimes, is pigeonholed as the Pale Ale brewery, the IPA brewery, but from these beer camp across America, collaborations, we see that you are brewing a lot of different styles. So, me, and of course, I'm sure you guys definitely are looking forward to seeing what Sierra Nevada has to bring, especially now that they've moved to the east. And I wish you good luck in spreading that throughout the New York market.
Thank you very much, Barry.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me.
And, keep drinking Sierra Nevada beer. Cheers.